Hi there, everybody. Pro Carry Trucker here. Online looking some things up. Found something I thought I'd share. I read over it, and I'm just going to pick some of it out and pick on it. But you know what? As I read it, I think I just need to read the whole thing, so bear with me. I just looked this up today, so I'm assuming it's current. Doesn't give any actual dates on here, but it was recently posted. Out of Springfield, Illinois, the Illinois General Assembly passed several new gun regulations after Democrats brought a package of proposed new laws to the House floor Wednesday. The bills are part of a package of legislation proposed last week by the House Democratic leaders aimed at restricting who can buy guns, who can sell them, and who can intervene to seize them. 4 new laws passed the House, with another measure given Senate approval. House Speaker Michael Madigan recognized Democrats and a few thoughtful Republicans for the passage of measures, although he suggested the silence from Governor Rauner speaks volumes. The Democratic leader asserted that the new gun laws should have been a bipartisan effort and promised to continue calling for more. So what I'm reading here, the laws I go over, is not the end of it. They're pushing for more than what I got here. The governor's office said Rauner will review any legislation after it is sent to him for approval. Today we are encouraged to hear a great deal of bipartisan conversation about the critical issue of protecting our families. Oh yeah. I can protect my family when somebody aggressive comes on my land and I've got a gun to stop them with. But, my opinion, I'll go on. Spokeswoman Rachel, let me start over with this. Today we are encouraged to hear a great deal of bipartisan conversation about the critical issues of protecting our families, spokeswoman Rachel Bolt said. We are in favor of that conversation continuing. We will work with the General Assembly to keep guns out of the wrong hands, ban bump stocks, make our schools safer, and work with law enforcement to protect our children. And the following bills. I screwed up here. Protect our children. Where did I mess up my pages at? Yeah, let's just continue on. The following bills passed the House and wait Senate approval. House Bill 1467, sponsored by the 55th District, Marty Moylan, Democrat from Des Plaines. You might as well say Chicago, it's a suburb. Bans so-called bump stocks. The devices came to national prominence after they were allegedly used by the perpetrator of last year's massacre at the Las Vegas concert. The bills also banned trigger cranks, which also take semi-automatic guns that require trigger pull for every shot to fire at rates closer to that of automatic weapons. My views on that: a semi-automatic is a semi-automatic. If you have to pull the trigger every time to fire a round, it doesn't matter how fast that firearm fires, it's still a semi-automatic. A fully automatic is you pull the trigger and you empty the magazine and release the trigger. I'm not going to throw no names out there, but one in particular, I'm sure you all know who it is, can take a semi-automatic and pretty well empty that magazine faster than what a semi-automatic with a bump stock on it can. It's a semi-automatic. He's just very fast at shooting. The bump stock ban passed by a vote of 83 to 31, with 4 members not voting. House Bill 1465 amended by 55th District Representative Michael Mussman, Democrat from Schaumburg. Once again, you might as well say Chicago because it is only a west suburb of Chicago. State routes 53 and 19 pretty well meet up in Schaumburg. Changes the age requirements for the purchase and possession of high-capacity magazines and firearms it defines as assault weapons. Only people aged 21 or older can now buy the items. Current owners have 90 days to transfer the ownership. Here's what gets me. It also bans 50 caliber rifles, although it exempts competitive shooters. Transportation of weapons to legal events and possession of prop weapons for movies. Okay, people, they want to ban 50 cal rifles. We deer hunt with 12 gauge shotguns loaded with slugs in Illinois. Are they going to go after that because a 12 gauge slug is actually a larger diameter than a 50 cal? The bill to increase in the minimum age to buy or have such assault style weapons passed 64 to 51. It's not giving any. I imagine I could have clicked on, I don't know if I can show it. Unfortunately, the camera I seem to like it, except for the display is only on the rear. I can't flip around and see what's it's actually showing. I'm going to try to show here. I've got the print is in black, and then the bill is in green, and then down here the vote is also in green. I probably could have clicked on that, and it would have probably broke down who voted on what. Comment down below, and if you want me to break that down, I'll go back in and see if I can find that and do another video on it. Next bill, House Bill 1468, sponsored by 57th District Representative Jonathan Carroll, Democrat from Northbrook. Oh my lands, it's another Democrat out of the Chicago area. Adds a requirement for a 72-hour waiting period before buying assault-style weapons and 50 caliber rifles. I would say almost all responsible gun owners would say that waiting a couple extra days for a firearm isn't the end of the world, Carroll said. You know what? We shouldn't have to wait at all. If we are legal to own a gun, we are responsible citizens, we ought to go be able to get it. But Carroll said it's fairly straightforward. It goes from 24 hours to 72 hours, he said. Current law already including the waiting period for handguns. It was approved by a 79 to 37 vote. No Republicans spoke in opposition. So either the Republicans just sat with their thumbs up their butt and didn't vote on it, or they voted for it, one or the other. Earlier Wednesday afternoon, State Representative held a lengthy debate on Willis' bill to implement a state-level gun dealer licensing scheme. Several representatives questioned why a Senate-passed trailer bill, HB 1273, containing additions to the bill had not been brought to the floor for a vote before the Licensing Act. So Willis eventually did call the trailer bill, which included an explicit ban on security cameras in restrooms. I'm not even going to go into that. A delay until 2020 on the requirement to implement it, and a reduction in the cost of licenses to $200 a year. I'm not familiar with that. I'd have to look up on it. Republicans opposed to the bill questioned why big box stores were exempted from the regulation if they don't make more than 20% of the revenue from firearm sales. They suggested it unfairly targeted small business owners and could force gun dealerships out of business. I can definitely see that. The Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, who would be charged with managing the new license, joined gun dealership and rifle association and associations and filing witness slips against the bill. The state agency said it didn't have the resources to handle the extra responsibilities. According to Willis, the bill sponsors, they always say that. Even among supporters of the tougher gun restrictions, some representatives questioned why it took a mass shooting at a school in another state to prompt action on the long-stalled massacre in light of the continuing gun violence in the Chicago area. It's awful funny that Chicago has such a bad gun crime rep, but they've got the strictest gun laws in the state and some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. It just don't make sense to me. Well, it does make sense to me. Strict gun laws do not promote safety. Earlier Wednesday, the Senate passed its version of another gun-related bill by a vote of 40 to 14. The Lethal Violence Order of Protection Act, sponsored by 29th District Senator Julie Morrison, Democrat from Deerfield. Ooh, imagine that, another one from the Chicago area. Allows law enforcement or family members to go to a judge and get someone's guns taken away temporarily. Well, we know how that's going to come out. Too often, family members of an individual displaying threatening or self-harm behavior do not know where to turn for help. Morrison said after it passed through the Senate, this plan not only gives families the power to intervene when they see troubling behavior, but it also protects the rights of individuals by ensuring due process in the court system. You come to take my guns, you better have a damn good reason to do it. Co-sponsored 24th District Senator Chris Nebo, Republican from Elmhurst. Imagine that, it's a Republican, but guess what? He's up by Chicago. Said he hopes the new type of court order might begin to stop failure tragedies before they take place. With help from the public in identifying dangerous individuals, this initiative allows for law enforcement to temporarily remove the individual's FOID, which is Firearm Owner's Identification Card, and firearms until the court determines they are no longer a present danger to others. People, we know what kind of government we live in. If they find a way to temporarily remove our firearms and our ability to purchase firearms, do you really think they're going to give it back to us? It's a preventive measure that could save lives in Illinois. No, it's a preventive measure to make more legal, this is my opinion, more legal, law-abiding citizens felons, and also give criminals more power. That's my opinion on that. The House version of the bill, HB 772, has yet to come up for the vote. The President and CEO of Gun Violence Prevention, PAC, pointed out in a news release from House Democrats announcing the passage of the new laws, more than 400 young people have been killed in school shootings during the 6 years since Sandy Hook. I'm going to keep quiet on my thoughts on that. Meanwhile, children are dying every day here on the streets of Chicago. Well, you got such strict gun laws in Chicago, why are people still being killed with guns? And nothing has been done to stop it. Well, it's awful funny. If you go through and look, the more gun laws you make in Chicago, the more gun crime rises. If these children were victims of a foreign terrorist, our leaders would spare no expense in eliminating the threat. If they had been killed by a defective product, that product would be recalled overnight, Kathleen Sands said. It doesn't say who Kathleen Sands is. It just said that this is what she said. Today, legislators took a major step forward on behalf of victims by taking critical steps to protect our children, families, and communities from gun violence. The votes on the bundle of new legislation followed a call from the Archbishop of Chicago Wednesday morning to push for more action from state lawmakers to reform gun laws. The Archbishop. That kind of sounds like, it doesn't, yeah, right here. Cardinal Blase Kupik said young people are shaming the adult world into action. What is the Catholic Church getting in on this for this? As they organize for changes to the country's gun laws in the wake of the February 14th mass shooting in Parkland, Florida. We should not be naive about the role of money in our national epidemic of gun violence. Arms dealers are driven by profits. But profits are never more important than people, and we must never allow the desire for money to eclipse our most sacred duty to keep our children safe. You know, we got a Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Kupik, C-U-P-I-C-H, told reporters. When even small measures to limit access to items such as armor-piercing bullets, bump stocks, and high-volume magazines are oppressed, we must ask those who oppose them, whom are you protecting? Protecting a lot more than these bills are going to be protecting. As I stated, bump stocks. It does not make a semi-automatic an automatic. I can name somebody, you know, I'm not going to name the name, you know who I'm talking about. I can take my AR. I can put a bump stock on it. This other person can have an AR with no bump stock, just strictly semi-automatic. And more than likely that other person, if we start firing at the same time, can empty his magazine, same size mag, say 30 round mag, can empty that mag at the quicker than I can with the bump stock firing at what they call similar to fully automatic rate. What are they going to do? Start outlawing your fingers? Start outlawing parts of your body that can pull the trigger? Go back to this last page here. Armor-piercing bullets. Yeah, I see a need for armor-piercing bullets. If somebody pulls up in my drive and he starts shooting at me, you know what? I've got a rifle in there that I can load up with military surplus that I have for it, and I can return fire, and if they're firing at me, I have no problem shooting through their car door or anything else to hit them. High volume magazines. You know what? You can watch videos. You practice, you train, you can change out a magazine pretty quick. So, oh, we can only have 10 round magazine. Well, fine. That's not going to do anything because people are just going to start carrying more magazines. Leave your comments below. I would definitely love to hear comments on this, see your thoughts. Like I said, if you want to know the breakdown on those votes, let me know. I'll check into it and see what I can find. Definitely don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Appreciate you watching.